And this time what we're going to be doing is talking about a new chapter, which is John chapter 4, 1 through 5. And we're going to be talking about what is in verses 1. And let's get started and see what verse 1 has to say. So in verse 1 it says this: John knew the proud religious law. Jesus knew, not John. Jesus knew the proud religious law keepers had heard he was making and baptizing more followers than John. So, as you may hopefully remember from the last video, what happened was we were talking about how, you had Jesus that was baptizing in one place, John that was baptizing in another, and you had this person who was Jewish come and try to start an argument, and John said what he had to say, and now we're here. But now because now it's saying that Jesus knew the proud religious law keepers. The proud religious law keepers. If you remember in the last video, I talked with you about the people who, because the law keepers are those who are the Pharisees, who like I told you, are those that are of great status, who are the high priest and the priests in the temple, that were religious figures, and also were kind of also those who kept the law, and those who also could strike their own form of punishment. They were religious law keepers. They knew the religious laws. They knew what to say, how to say, when to say, what to do. That they knew they had it all together. They looked great. They had these cool kind of looking robe things, and they had it all. They had the temple. They were all together. They were all knew it all, had it all, were good to go. And they were proud, and they were religious, and they kept the law. Because if you remember, that's what what I was trying to tell you last week, is that normally those were the people during the time that Jesus was doing what he was doing. They were the people who had their biggest ought against Jesus, the biggest thing of, oh no, we shouldn't, allow this to happen. They were the ones that were against Jesus. They didn't like Jesus. Because they even had some political pull as well. So, politically, religiously, they didn't like Jesus. Because he was just doing this stuff. And he just shows up one day. And, they didn't like Jesus. And we'll see more of this unfold throughout the rest of the book as we keep going. So, let's see what verse 2 has to say. Verse 2 says this: Jesus did not baptize anyone himself, but his followers did. So Jesus didn't baptize them. His followers baptized people. Let's see what verse 3 has to say. Excuse me. Then Jesus went from the country of Judea to the country of Galilee. He said he had to go through the country of Samaria. So if you haven't noticed by... we can go back to it. If you haven't noticed by now that we're moving from, talking about the religious teachers and leaders at the time. We're moving a little bit away from that now because Jesus is about to go and do something. I don't know if anyone remembers what it is that Jesus is about to do, but the country of Samaria, should tell you what more than likely is going to be talked about next. as we move forward. Because really all that this is going to be doing is introducing us to the woman at the well, the woman in Samaria. Because you have to remember, this is still having to deal with the religious law and the way that people back then acted with one another. And the Jewish people and the Samaritans did not get along well at all. They weren't friends. They didn't like each other. They didn't conversate much. They tried to stay away from one another. And this is the story of Jesus and the Samaritan woman, as we will continue to find out, and we will see what there is still in store for us as we get some more story. So he came to a town in Samaria called Sychar. It was near the place of peace of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. So he went through Samaria. He had to go through this town, and he eventually came up to a Samaritan village or Samaritan town. And the thing is, like I said, what we're going to find out in the next few verses is that the Jewish people really didn't like the Samaritans a lot. But we will see what Jesus does and how he acts in this time, in this situation with the Samaritan woman. Because it's one of those things that you get to see and learn different things that he teaches with the Samaritan woman. There are a lot of things that we could learn about how we should treat people through this part that Jesus talks about. So, that is going to be it for this video. If you liked this video, please like, subscribe, share the video. Thank you guys for watching.